Hey, what the fuck is up, y'all? This is Crazy McCormick up in this motherfucking bitch. Here on Juggalo a Day, bitch. Now, before we get into this week's topic, I do have to say, once again, I apologize for not getting my video out on Monday, but busy as fuck, and I haven't been able to even come up with a time to make my video. So, nevertheless, I'm gonna go ahead and do it on Tuesday, and then Max gotta fucking scramble in order to get his out. Nevertheless, though, let's go ahead and get into the topic. I'm just going to go ahead and do a little bit of foreshadowing before I tell you exactly what the topic is. Now, being born in the 80s and growing up around that culture and having a lot of nostalgia about said culture, you know, that was the one thing that actually brought me thinking up the topic, because I'm in love, absolutely in love, with the music from the 80s, the movies, the culture, and of course, vehicles, cars. Bum, ba-da, ba-bum, ba-dum, ba-da, ba-bum, ba-ba-ba-ba-bum, bum, bum, ba-bum, 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 and new wave and all of that stuff. Now, I was actually just driving around when the idea for the topic actually kind of just popped into my motherfucking head. And it was our dream car. What's the one car that we would love to have? And even if it's a car that you can't afford, you know, what's that one car that you really, really fucking want? And mine, being from, you know, being a product of the 80s and growing up around bum, 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 ba-da-dum, bum, 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 the fucking DeLorean is exactly my dream motherfucking car. I would love to have a DeLorean, but unfortunately, they're not like mass produced anymore. They were only out for like maybe 2 or 3 years. And that's mainly because the guy who ran the factory to create the DeLorean, he ended up, I believe he ended up going to jail on a fucking cocaine bin. And because of that, no more DeLoreans. But DeLoreans are actually very fucking iconic when you think about it. I mean, they're the fucking car for Back to the Future. And that was the one thing that made everybody fall in love with that vehicle. Of course, you also see one of those DeLoreans. What movie was it? The Wedding Singer. It was in The Wedding Singer. Owned by the fucking guy who tried to look like Miami Vice. So, which, you know, that movie was pretty much about the fucking culture in the 80s. And I would love, of all things, to have that fucking car. I could give a fuck about Camaros. I could give a fuck about the Dodge Charger, the fucking Ford Mustang. I could give a fuck less about any other car that's out there. I would rather have the DeLorean before I was even able to get a Lamborghini Murcielago or a Diablo or a Ferrari or anything like that. Because those, I mean, honestly, to me, those fucking vehicles are way too sporty. I want something where the stainless steel cover of the car disrupts the flux dispersal units. Something that'll make me go to 1955 with 1.21 gigawatts of electricity. That's what I fucking want. Complete with the fucking flux capacitor and the Mr. Fusion. Like, not just any DeLorean. I want that one. That's the one I fucking want. And if I ended up actually being able to get a regular DeLorean, oh, dude, I would try to figure out a way on how to fucking go through time. Not to mention, I thought that it was a genius idea that instead of having the suicide doors where they're like straight to up, they go, and they even make that noise. Like, to me, that's the fucking shit. And that is my dream car. The DMC DeLorean. Because they've only had, like, what, 1,000 of those out there? And I'm sure that Universal bought, like, 5 of them and converted them to all look the same, like, you know, Doc Brown's psychotic invention. Now, the last I heard about one, somebody in my high school tried to say that they found one in the Upper Peninsula. somewhere in the Upper Peninsula, and they were trying to sell it for $4,000 because there's like nobody up in the Upper Peninsula. There's nobody in the UP, not really. So like having $4,000 for a used DeLorean, either they don't know about cars or they're just really trying to get rid of that motherfucker. I should have pursued it. I should have been like, give me that motherfucking address. I will sell a kidney for a DeLorean and worry about whether or not I sold the other one later. But that's it for me. I'm out this motherfucker. What is your dream car? And don't say DeLorean, because that's mine!